Welcome to this TNT Special where we will be previewing the incredible TNT Ignition, Ignite the Fire, which is on the 13th of March in Liverpool, featuring top names such as Dursun, Shreddy, HD Drake, Gia Adams, Tom Thelwell, Cam Solas, Webb, and more. To help us preview this fantastic show is the former boxer turned wrestler who's been lighting up the Northwest scene. He was born ready. RPD. How are we doing, Art?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I am very well today. We are, of course, TNT, Great British Wrestling Podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net and brought to you by Powered 4 TV, the only place where you can see all of TNT Extreme and TNT Ignition shows. I am your host, the Great British Attacker, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most. As always, my co-host is Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short.
Yeah, how are we doing?
Hey, man, you okay?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very glad to have you on.
Yes, thank you for coming on today. Looking forward to speaking to you about this incredible card. We'll get straight into what you're most here for, and that is that rivalry with Dursun. It dates back now 2 shows where you picked up not a surprising win, but a very big win over the former champion. And then he suckered you in with that boxing match, a pile driver to the bar. How are you feeling?
Well, I wasn't. I had a few problems with my neck for quite a few days after that. But on the Great Hall, I think I got lucky with it. I kind of got away with it. It seemed worse than it was at the time, but the intention was there by Sonnen. He wanted to make a statement on me, and he certainly tried his best. And that is definitely something that he's going to live to regret that decision.
It looked devastating. I'm glad you've managed to get over that one.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you know me, boys. I've come from a boxing background. I'm not used to getting pile driven on bars. It's new to me. But that's what this whole thing is about. I'm learning to adapt in a completely new sport, and it's a sport that I've always had a big passion for as a fan, and now I'm involved in it as a performer. And this is the game. This is the game we're in. I'm honoured to be able to, perform for TNT. I'm repping them today for your podcast. Repping them for you. I'm honoured to perform for TNT, but I'm honoured also, even with what's happened with Sonnen, I'm honoured to kind of compete with him and be able to show that I can perform at that level with a guy that is as proven and is such an accomplished competitor as Dursun. So yeah, it's been an exciting couple of months at TNT, and I'm really enjoying it. And I honestly think that the next match is going to be the big one, and I think we're going to get to the bottom of who is the better man.
Yeah, he certainly seemed to take that first loss very, very personally. I mean, do you think the whole boxing match was just a setup to begin with?
I don't know. Sonnen is a very proud fighter, and as I just said, he's unbelievably accomplished. He's been a TNT Ignition champion, and I think he was surprised when I came to TNT so early in, and I got a win over him. On my first singles match for TNT, so that was certainly a shock to him, and I think more than anything, that attacked his ego, because he is a man with a great ego, due to his accomplishments, and I just simply think that he couldn't hack the fact that I beat him fairly in a wrestling match. And so he challenged me, as he said, he can beat me at any sort of fight, any sort of combat, he can beat me at. And sadly for him, he chose the thing that I've spent the last 15 years doing. So not his brightest move. It wasn't his brightest move, and he found that out on the night. I have to give him a little bit of respect. I've given him a little bit of respect. He did better in that boxing match than I anticipated he would do. But at the same time, it was always it was always a one-horse race. That was a one-horse race, and full credit for him to get in there. It takes a lot of bottle to get into a boxing ring, especially with me, and he did, and respect is earned there. However, he didn't like the way it was going. It was another fair fight, and it was going my way, and he didn't like that, and so he brought a little bit of wrestling into the boxing match. He ended up low blowing me, headbutting me, biting me, and ultimately spearing me out of the ring. To which it all kind of the whole thing broke apart. We ended up brawling, and it, as you say, it ended with him doing a pile driver on the bar, which was, I think that's a definitive statement that he wants to get rid of me, as he can do. But I'm still here. I got up, and I'll always get up, and that's what I'm going to prove when I wrestle him at Ignition again.
Yeah, this time round, it is a street fight. As you say, you come from a boxing background. This isn't something you've competed in before. And Sonnen, he has been around a while. He has faced matches like this. Are you not a little bit worried about going into this matchup and what may happen, say another pile driver to a bar?
No, I'm not. I anticipate a war with Sonnen. I anticipate, the very best Sonnen Dursun, and I know the very best Sonnen Dursun is one of the very best wrestlers, period, in this country. But I think this is where Sonnen's got it all wrong with me. I think he believes that I can only operate within rules. When things are fair, I think he thinks that that's when I'm at my best. And he may have a point to an extent, but I can fight without rules, and I will prove that when I wrestle him next time. It isn't rules that has got me a win over him. It isn't rules that was the reason I was beating him in a boxing match. The fact that I was beating him and have beaten him in a wrestling match is because I believe truly that I am a better fighter than him, and I will prove that in a no rules street fight if that's what he wants to do. If that's where he thinks he can prove he's better than me, I believe he'll come unstuck, because I believe I can combat any style right across British wrestling, and that includes street fights, and it includes weapons and whatever else he wants to bring. I'm ready for him, and I'm excited to see what he can do. But I think he believes I'm trapped with him in a street fight. The truth is, he's trapped there with me now.
I think so too. Do you think a big win over Sonnen Dursun this weekend will put you in title contention for that TNT Ignition Championship?
I think so. Yeah, because I've always been very, very clear from day one. I've come to TNT for a few reasons. Number one, because it's a great platform. And TNT and Jay have been fantastic with me from the start to bring me in and kind of give me this sort of build up in which will be able to enhance myself as a professional wrestler in this country. But at the same time, I've come because of the fans at TNT. I feel that the fans at TNT and right across British wrestling, if I'm honest, have given me a second chance after my boxing career ended. I thought that was kind of the end of my sporting endeavours. I've been given a second chance with pro wrestling, and I honestly feel like I owe them fans. I owe them for this chance, and so basically, I'm going to do everything I can to prove that I now fight for them. I fight for them, and I fight for them as hard and as good as anybody that there is on this scene right now. And that's the first thing, and that was my number one priority when I came to pro wrestling, to really prove myself to the fans that I belong here and that I represent them. Now, the other one was the obvious. I've come to win titles, because I won titles as a professional boxer. I won titles as a unlicensed fighter. I've won titles anywhere I've ever been. And this is no different. I've come to British wrestling and I've come to TNT to win titles. And in my opinion, if I defeat Sonnen Dursun, who was a great TNT Ignition champion, that surely puts me in contention for Cam Solas, or whoever has that title at that time.
And TNT, you mentioned their fans, and they are some of the most rabid fans in the UK. I've not had the chance to head up to Liverpool yet. I'm based down in Hertfordshire,
Right.
And I do intend to get up there at some point soon, because every time I watch the shows on Power 4 TV, it just looks like such a fantastic environment to be in. Although I'm not sure if I want to be in the crowd with the street fight going through them.
No. Well, first point, the fans, you're correct, are fantastic. They are fantastic. They're really passionate. They love the business, and they love TNT. They really are. They are massively involved in every aspect of it: the wrestling, the story, the whole thing. And again, that's the sort of crowd I want to perform for. I think that's the sort of crowd that every performer or wrestler or boxer or fighter or combat athlete wants to perform for. You want to perform for people who are appreciative of what's going on in that ring. And so yeah, I mean, I can only say good things about the TNT faithful, because ever since I come, they have been so good to me. They've been so good to me. They've got behind me from literally day dot. The first time I walked out, I got a standing ovation and a big cheer and a big chant. And, that really meant a lot to me, because I'll be honest with you, when I came into TNT, I didn't know if I was big, a big enough fish for them to even kind of acknowledge me, but they did. They'd see what I'd done elsewhere, and again, because of that, it all comes back to this sort of owed thing from me. I feel like I have to prove myself to them that I'm worthy of them sort of cheers and that adulation. And believe me when I say I will do that. I will do that. I will become their man. By hook or by crook, I will become their man.
Sounds like a passionate man to me. I tell you what, before we let you go, I think we should get your thoughts on some of the other matchups, because this TNT Ignition card is absolutely fantastic. There's a VIP dark match that's just been announced. Well, the matchup itself has not been announced, but it's going to be in part promotion with promotion that you know very well, Wrestle Island. You recently made your debut there. Huge win over MMA practitioner Carlos Zamora just the other weekend. So looking forward to that.
No, definitely. 100%. Wrestle Island, again, are a great promotion. And I know they've now kind of come into conjunction to an extent now with TNT, which can only be better for every single performer on both sides of them promotions. Pete, who runs Wrestle Island's a great guy, does great things, and he does great things for the community, which I have spoken to about, I think, previously on to other people, but that's a big thing for me. Doing good things within wrestling, while also entertaining fans and doing all the stuff that's the fun stuff, being able to also do things that really matter as well to local communities and people who are struggling to even put food on the table and whatnot. Pete's the sort of guy who tries to fix that, and he tries to kind of make it all roll into one, so it's a win-win for everybody. And yeah, I think that'll be great. And I don't know who they will have, but I mean, they've got a great roster, Wrestle Island. So it could be anyone. If anything, I think the man you just mentioned, then I've just had a really, really tough match with Carlos Zamora, and full credit to that man, because that man can fight. And I'm sore after that one. But like I say, full credit to him, and I hope he gets an opportunity at TNT as well, because an unbelievably talented man.
Excellent. After that, you've got two mountains of men, monsters of men. MVK, the most valuable killer, my friend Valcabius, Isaac versus Issac North. As I say, two huge monster of men. This is going to be a collision of titans.
Unbelievable match. I mean, I've watched them both. I mean, they're just both giant physical specimens, aren't they? And you know, everyone loves a good heavyweight bout. And you know, I don't know who I would pick there. I generally don't know who I would pick. MVK is so skillful and so slick, but at the same time, the big man is very scary. And he's very scary. And he really does put he puts sort of a kind of he's got sort of a Viking vibe, hasn't he? As North, and just a very, very big, strong man, and I honestly think it'll be a really good scrap. That
I hope they've reinforced the ring for that one.
I do, yeah, definitely.
We have a #1 contenders match featuring two of the very best wrestlers in the UK right now, Gia Adams from the Northeast and Ivy from down in Sheffield. There was a triple threat last time at Sky's the Limit. Gia Adams picked up the win over Hannah Taylor, and Ivy decided that she took it in her own hands and said that no, it wasn't fair, and now she wants a one-on-one contest.
Ivy never thinks it's fair.
No, I've only met Ivy once. I met her at the last show, and I've seen a lot about her. Fantastic work she does, and a great wrestler. And when I met her, was very personable backstage. But I mean, I know Gia, and I've met Gia, and I've performed on many shows with Gia, and I mean, she's a one of a kind, certainly female, I think, in the Britain. She's strong, powerful, tough. She has all them attributes going for her. And yeah, I can't see past Gia, if I'm being honest. There, full credit for Ivy to even want to get in there with her. If I'm being completely honest.
And Gia's got so much technique as well as power. She really is a total package.
So talented. I mean, Ivy's so talented too, and they're both talented. But I mean, again, this is all part of why, if you are in the area, if you're in the Liverpool area, or you're willing to travel, 100% get yourself to the show, because there's so many great matches. There are so many great matches in such a variety. Like you say, you've mentioned 3 now. You've got a street fight between me and Sonnen Dursun, which, believe me, is going to be carnage. It's going to be carnage, and I will make sure it is. You've got a battle of the giants in MVK and Issac North, and then of course you've also got a fantastic female bout that really is a battle of styles, I think.
Yeah.
Gia Adams, certainly the fan favorite. Typically, wherever she goes, she has so much support from the crowd, always behind her. Ivy, very underhanded, the queen of monsters, and you've always got to be wary of if Ruby Radley is round the corner. Her partner, of course, is the Pretty Little Killers. They can certainly do damage when they are together.
Indeed. We then have another match to talk about here. Tate Mayfairs versus Big Guns Joe. They recently competed against each other in Progress. Big Gun Joe's looking to move forward, having had Simon Miller turn on him. And Tate Mayfairs, who we interviewed recently, will be looking to pick up his first win after debuting at the last show. Tateness is, of course, greatness.
Yeah, another really high-profile match, and like you say, I mean, them two just wrestled at Progress, so you're seeing the quality that this show has come into it. Again, I know both these lads. Tate's unbelievably talented. Big Guns Joe's my boy. I've known him a long time from my very first show. My very, very first show I ever did. I was with Big Guns Joe, and my heart wants Big Guns Joe to come on top on this one.
Yes, it feels like Big Guns Joe does need to get a big win here. As Big Daddy mentioned there, Simon Miller turned on him in his big rivalry against Shreddy and Synergy. Very much a big shame. Tateness is very much full of himself. He's very cocky. He's very assured of himself. Can sometimes be to his downfall. But when he is in the ring and he is at his best, he can be one of the best wrestlers in the UK.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, I only saw him on the last show and he was very, very impressive. So, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a battle. And, you know, both very high caliber wrestlers in Britain. And, again, just another great addition to a stacked show.
We then have the match that you're very excited for, Andy. Tom Thelwell is one of your favourites, we know. And he's going to be taking on Chase Martini.
Yes, the uncrowned prince of TNT Ignition, the current level up briefcase holder. So he has a title shot at his disposal at any opportunity. Been on quite the run lately, including a huge win over Scott Oberman, costing Oberman his TNT Ignition career. Chase, is out to make a statement. He's had some big profile matches recently, huge wins over Visage and another victory over Leon Gray and Jimmy Jackson. And this past week, attacking Tom Thelwell after his victory. Very underhanded. Very scary man, Chase Martini. You never quite know what he's going to do.
No, definitely not. I mean, again, I know Chase, and he seemed very unhinged as of late, and he's done quite a few attacks on people. A great wrestler is Chase, and a great mind for the business. You know, when I have talked to him, he's got a real great mind for this business and wrestling. But he does seem to have sort of an unhinged side to him that is coming out more and more and more, and that makes him dangerous. And I think it makes him dangerous in this match. However, like you say, he's wrestling Tom, and Tom is just a bit of a marvel. I mean, he makes me feel very old as Tom, because he's I think he's like 19, isn't he, or something? And just what a talent for 19 years old. An absolute top kid. You know, sky's the limit for him. Quite literally, sky is the limit for him of where he can go and what he can do.
Yes, Chase Martini is very much psychopathic vibes that you get from him. You should always be wary of a man that doesn't even bother to put on wrestling trunks in a wrestling match, coming down in his suit and his shoes, ready to just turn on you at a moment.
Reminds me very much of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, doesn't he? Do you not think? Definitely a likeness.
Definitely has that mentality. We've got a very big heavyweight matchup. Shreddy versus HT Drake. Shreddy has been making lots of noise as of late. HT Drake is a veteran of the Northeast scene, and he's really been trying to now establish his name in the Northwest. How do you see this one going?
God, that's a tough one. I've met HT Drake a couple of times. I mean, I watched him. I've watched him quite a few times on TNT shows. I mean, he does some spectacularly athletic things, doesn't he, for a man his size and stature. Just an incredible athlete. And then there's Shreddy, and I mean, I've had a little bit of beef with Shreddy myself. We've had a few minor run-ins. We've never fully gone at it yet, but it's been building. And I've got a feeling that down the line, me and Shreddy will clash eventually, and that's something I'm very excited about, because again, he's a larger than life character in more ways than one, and he's on a roll at the minute. He's on a roll. So as good as HT Drake is, I just think that Shreddy is on such a roll that he might be hard to stop at the minute.
And also, you've got to question how HT Drake's going to be after that huge chairs and drawing pins match he had at DOA.
Yeah, exactly. And that I watched bits of that. I mean, wow, what them boys put themselves through, and boys and girls put themselves through. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, very much.
Indeed. And as you say, both men are coming off the back of victories. HT Drake picked up a win over Joe Kessler in his last outing at TNT Ignition. And Shreddy got a big win over the big man, Franco Varga. Very impressive from both competitors. And of course, there's the main event of the show. Cameron Solas teaming up with TNT Extreme legend Ruffneck, facing the Manc-Union of JJ Webb. And I suppose I've got to give it to him as well, TNT Extreme legend Sam Bailey.
Yeah. I know Sam well. I know Sam very well. Like I say, the pair of them together, JJ Webb and Sam, I think it'd be hard to argue that they're not brilliant together and a great team and a cohesive unit. I'm yet to fully see whether Ruffneck and Cameron Solas can work together. I know he came out to help him last time, and it seemed to be like a generations thing that the old TNT and the new TNT kind of meeting in the middle there. I think that's what this match is about. I think it all depends on how they can coexist in a ring together, and if they can, I think they're going to be a hell of a force. But we know that JJ Webb and Sam Bailey together are a force, and they've been a force for a while. They know each other very well. They work very well together. So again, I think it all comes down to what Ruffneck and Cameron Solas can do as a team, because they're both obviously very talented and very, very good competitors singularly. What can they do together?
So, of course, JJ Webb earned the right to become the #1 contender during the TNT Ignition Rumble, starting from #2 and going the entire distance to win that. He then interfered in Cameron Solas's TNT DOA match, causing Cameron to be eliminated. And at the last show, dastardly tactics by JJ Webb. Thankfully, James Greenwood was on the ball and was managed to catch that dirty tactics. What did you make of that?
Yeah, that's why we've got Greenwood. Greenwood is the he is genuinely just such a top guy, and like I say, one of the very best referees in the country. And it's for reasons like this. It's so he catches things that a lot of these guys who are underhanded try. James has got his eyes on you. He's got his eyes on you all the time. But I'm not going to take anything away from JJ Webb. I'm very, very impressed with him. Very impressed with him. He's someone I would love to wrestle down the line. A great character, great wrestler. He's got in my opinion, he's got the full package. And with Sam's help, who is so experienced and so good himself and been around for so long, if he can kind of guide JJ with what he knows, then I think the world's the oyster for both of them.
Were you surprised that the reuniting or the new arrival of this Manc-Union, and what do you think actually means for TNT Ignition and TNT Extreme as a whole?
I think generally them two always spell bad things. They always spell bad things, and they'll look to dominate and control as much as they can within TNT. But there's some really good competitors in TNT who want to kind of defend the honour of that company. And I honestly think that as good as they are, I think they'll be stopped. I do think they'll be stopped.
Yes, of course. Cam is a local Liverpool lad. He'll have the support, but Ruffneck, he's a legend. Again, big surprise for his return last time out. Again, what does it mean for TNT Ignition and TNT Extreme as a whole?
I think generally, I think it's just kind of, as I said before, I think it's like a meeting of like a generational thing. I think TNT, I think the pandemic and everything has kind of made TNT move on. It's had to adapt. It's had to kind of evolve through everything that's gone on. But that doesn't mean that all the things that made it great before that need to go away. And I think Ruffneck is certainly got a pillar of that. And so, yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's really exciting, to kind of see the current champion, the current face of Ignition in Cam Solas, Ruffneck, who was such a huge part of its history, kind of come together here to kind of take part, in Liverpool and try and battle this kind of Manc-Union threat that is approaching them.
Yeah. Now, during a backstage interview, Webb and Bailey did mention about having friends everywhere. Do you not worry that there may be more Manc-Unions hiding in amongst the TNT Ignition roster right now? Possibly, yeah. Possibly so. And I'm neither Manc-Union nor Liverpudlian, but if Cam and Ruffneck need help, they need only ask. If any more come to the table, RPD will be there to help fight them off.
Excellent.
So TNT Ignition's Ignite the Fire is Sunday the 13th of March at the Fusion Bar in Liverpool. VIP entry is from 2 p.m. 3 p.m. are the doors, with first bell at 3:30 p.m. Tickets are still available. Standard tickets are £10. Kids for £8. VIP tickets are £20. They include a dark match and photo opportunities with the talent. You can also get booth tickets, £60. It includes entry for 4 people, and VIP booths for £100. Those include a balcony view.
Ooh,
nice.
And of course, if you want to keep up to date with all of TNT Ignition and TNT Extreme, they are only available via Powered Ford TV. And if you sign up now using the promotional code TPOD, TEAPOD, you will be able to catch up with 1 whole month free. $7.99 a month afterwards. Help support British wrestling and help support us. Thank you for joining us today, RPD, to do this preview for TNT Ignition. Is there anything else you would like to say to Sonnen before we leave?
No, just generally, I think first I'll speak to obviously anyone listening in regards to, if you can make the show because it's going to be phenomenal. As you've just gone down the rundown, then there's some epic matches on of varying different talents and sizes and strengths and styles and whatnot. It's got everything you need on a show, and as good. I think that's as good a card as anywhere in the country right now. If I'm being dead honest with you, I think the talent on that card is absolutely phenomenal. But then, from my side, I'm going to promote my match, and me and Son have been at this for a few months now. It's coming to the boil. It's coming to the boil, and I think we can't go bigger and we can't go badder than a street fight. And I know Sonnen will bring everything he's got. I am telling you now, I will bring everything that I've got. And my aim is to prove to Sonnen Dursun that I belong at his level, and it's to prove to every single TNT fan who pays a ticket to come watch that show that I belong in this company and I'm here for a long time, and that is what I'm going to do.
Excellent. Well, we all hope to see you at TNT Ignition, Ignite the Fire, and we hope you've enjoyed this preview of this fantastic show, and we'll see you there.